So the Sony WH-1000 XM6 have just dropped, and whether you've got one, are waiting on one, or looking for new gadgets to fill the emptiness in your life, we've got 10 useful tips for you.
Namaste, we're DHRME, delightful headphone reviews with maximum enjoyment.
The Sony WH-1000 XM6 can do volume control using the touchpad. You can raise volume by swiping up and lower volume by swiping down. But what makes this feature simply great is this. Simply swipe up and hold for the volume to increase, or swipe down and hold to lower volume continuously. A simple tip that can save you a lot of time and frustration.
Another frustration you might have is battery life. Well, we don't mind because we think 30 hours is plenty. But in addition to excellent fast charging, the XM6 has a new feature its predecessors don't. The ability to listen to music while being charged. No, they can't play audio via the USB cable, so you are going to have to connect via Bluetooth or the 3.5mm cable.
And in whichever mode you're listening, the WH-1000 XMC has a great new feature if you're a fuck mom. Anyway, you can now mute phone calls directly using the headphones. Unfortunately, Sony makes it harder for you to do that. First off, it's disabled by default. Why? I don't know. And if you go into the app, you're going to have to dive into Device Settings, System, and hit the cryptically named Enable the Headphones Microphone Operation. You can also choose to have a tone play to remind you that you're muted so that you can hear it while you're on the go. Nice touch. You can also disable it if you want. Another nice touch, if you're a gamer, the WH-1000 XM6 supports LE audio, which gives it some much needed ability to work with lower latency. Ideal for you. Oh, and there's also a special EQ for gaming while you're at it. None of these helped me with my chess games though.
Games, music, and movies. You can use the cinema mode on these headphones and it's a ton of fun for watching movies. It makes the experience much more immersive. However, where Sony giveth, Sony taketh away. The cinema mode cannot be used in conjunction with the equalizer, DSEE Extreme, head tracking, or spatial sound services. So just go back to standard mode when you're done with the movie.
After a movie, you might want to go out for a run. And while we see many people working out in over-ear headphones, Sony clearly states that these headphones are not rated for liquid exposure. So depending on how prolific your sweat glands are, you might want to use Sony's in-ears or just any other audio product that does have an IP rating. Don't worry, we got you. We'll link our playlist of some great audio products up here.
Whatever the scene, you chilling out at home or working out in your gym, Sony's got you covered with its scene. You connect your favorite music services through the Sound Connect app, and when the headphones detect a scene, like you walking, it can play your favorite music service. Makes you wonder why there's a scene for the gym though, when these aren't waterproof. A bonus, if you use a widget on Android, you can see the current state your headphones think you're in.
One of the best new features I like about the XM6 is the introduction of voice commands. It flew under the radar, but you can now issue commands directly to the headphones. And yes, while Google Assistant could do this as well, you can now play, pause your music, raise volume, change ANC mode, and check battery levels using just your voice without having Google in the middle of all that. Just say, "Hey headphones," followed by the command. Our tip, use the exact words the headphones expect. So don't say lower volume, for example, but turn down volume. However, again, when Sony giveth, Sony taketh away, for some strange reason, you cannot use the voice commands in combination with the background music mode. I guess you don't talk to your headphones when you're pretending to be in a cafe.
If you were to ask us which color to buy, we'd say don't get the white. The ones we got, we've had less than a week now and the case is already a bit grimy. And we haven't even dropped it anywhere as far as we know. A darker color would definitely be a better bet.
Look, I'm not an audiophile. But still, this tip might seem like a stupid one, but trust me, it's the most important one. If you're new to headphones or even moderately experienced, before you start listening to music, take your time to adjust the headphones. That includes the headband and the cups. This helps you to not only minimize pressure around your jaw and the crown of your head, it makes a huge difference in sound. Here, let me demonstrate. I'm going to generate a graph of how these headphones sound. No, don't go away. I promise. This is easy to understand. The graph that comes up will just show how these headphones react to bass, that's on this side. The mids, that is this part, it's where the voices and things like lead guitars live. And the treble, the higher pitch sounds like coffee machines, drills, and musical instruments like hi-hats, etc. Now let's not take the exact frequency response too seriously. What I'm going to do is, the microphone is now measuring the left ear cup. I'm just going to take it and I'm going to put it back, very casually. And now we're going to measure it again. Do you see how different that is? I just casually moved the headphones a little bit. This is something people do not realize about over-ear headphones. The exact positioning makes a day and night difference, even if it is by a few centimeters. So if somebody was listening to it in position 2, they would say this doesn't have enough bass, right? They would say it's a bit too mid-heavy, and they would say that the treble is not that pronounced in certain regions, whereas somebody listening to it in position 1 would have a completely different experience. So when someone tells you headphones don't sound good, first question to ask them is, have you taken your time with the fit?
Big thanks and shout out to our tested tier supporters, as well as our
top tier, which is the Fuckman tier, Rad's Panda, Rachel, Paula, and Jay. Thanks a bunch to you guys. You've been checking our Sony's new password, the WH-1000 XM6.
And we've been DHRME.
Louis.